Amazon was the great unifier this week. The company brought the entire world together in hatred. Their apocalyptic announcement that they're taking over creative control of the James Bond franchise from the Broccoli family, who have been in charge since 1962's Dr. No, sent fans into a rage and then a deep depression. I didn't spot a single story or social media post that was happy with the news. Well, except for a worrying one from Amazon chairman Jeff Bezos, who wrote on X, formerly Twitter, "Who'd you pick as the next Bond?" Everybody is furious because the outcome of the $1 billion regime change is so excruciatingly obvious. 007 will ski off a cliff to his doom, only there won't be a Union Jack parachute to save him this time. Bond's kaput. Over the past 20 years, we've watched storied Hollywood brand after storied Hollywood brand be ruined by opportunistic plunderers who buy an enviable property, reduce it to content, and foolishly think the well will never run dry. The results are always the same: a legacy in tatters. Back in 2012, Disney acquired Lucasfilm for $4.5 billion, and with it, all of Star Wars and Indiana Jones. There were reasons for optimism then. 7 years earlier, George Lucas finished his Star Wars prequel trilogy, which had been mocked for, among other things, Jar Binks hamming it up and Hayden Christensen proclaiming, "I don't like sand." The saga could use a refresh, we thought. Help me, Mickey. You're my only hope. In 2015, audiences heaved a sigh of relief when Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, hit theaters. Crowds were pleased that it casually ripped off A New Hope, Luke became Daisy Ridley's Rey, and brought Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher back into the galactic fold. A simple, cinematic hug. But deep down, I had a bad feeling about this. The next two, The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, comprised a narrative mess that, while a box office success, failed in fans' eyes. Hungry Disney then started pumping out spin-off movies like Solo: A Star Wars Story, the worst of the lot, and 7 live-action TV shows. 2 have been good, several have been canceled or scrapped before production even started. All this madness happened inside of just 10 years. Star Wars is no longer an event, but another one of life's routine disappointments. Most telling of all is what Amazon has already done to The Lord of the Rings. In 2018, the company paid $250 million to snag the TV rights from the Tolkien estate. That didn't mean they could make shows off The Hobbit or the books that inspired Peter Jackson's Oscar-winning film trilogy, but rather the appendices, bone-dry histories of Middle-earth. The difference between HBO's fantasy epic and The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power? People actually talked about Game of Thrones. Amazon's show barely registers, wins no major awards, and is a cheap-looking snooze with a declining viewership.